we don't really look at how other teams run it. We just focus on how we run it. So, if we execute what we're supposed to do, usually we get the result we want.
You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Tuckheads Tuesday. Hard to believe, actually, the last Tuckheads Tuesday for the 2024 season. Starting next week, we will be 3 days a week. This is also our first full show from here at Media Row at the Super Bowl. We got a bunch of interviews that we captured last night on Media Night, which is awesome. As you can tell, those of you that watch us, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL or on the DraftKings Network, we are presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I have way too much stuff going on to even think about picking winners. I'm sorry about that. Maybe later in the week, for those of you that spread the word via social media at Ross Tucker NFL, at Ross Tucker Pod, or make the comment on YouTube, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. I do know this. We got a bunch of good guests last night, and we're going to be sprinkling them throughout the week, including today, where we have a very fun big show, which is presented by FutureFans.com. Listen, special memories with your children are even better, Jack, as you know, having no children whatsoever, are better than even watching your team win in the playoffs. I haven't talked about FutureFans.com in a while. I am a huge fan of what they've done. You know why? I love football. I want more people to embrace football. I want more young kids to know about football. It's called Future Fans Sports. Check them out at FutureFans.com. These guys are dads like me. They couldn't get their children who are Bengals fans to watch the games with them, but now they do because of Future Fans. It's only $49.99, FutureFans.com. They're offering free expedited shipping just for the playoffs. So go to FutureFans.com now and get yours. Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, I am with one of my favorite offensive linemen in the NFL, Landon Dickerson, left guard / center for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Dude, that was impressive, bro. That was legitimately impressive.
You got to do what needs to be done in those situations, and try to give Cam a break. I know he was battling through some things with his back, so we just felt like that was the best move, and got to.
All right, but when did you know you were going to be playing center? Because I still, even like I saw you in the media Friday, I still kind of thought Cam was going to go. So how prepared were you for both?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a day-by-day thing, right? So, a guy comes in on, whether it's Monday, he says I'm good to go, or he comes in on Saturday, he's like, oh, I feel amazing. You never know when that might be. So for us, it was just spend the whole week preparing as both, right? So you get guard reps, you get center reps, doing both in the meetings, both in walkthroughs, both in practice. Just be ready for whatever may happen.
You're probably more comfortable at guard now, though, right?
I mean, I've been there for like 4 years,
Yeah.
so again, I played a lot of center in college, and it's definitely it's a change up after you've been doing one thing for so long, but you can go out there and start to pick it up pretty easy.
Dude, I thought you did a good job. Like, I saw the one time they might have had double A, and I saw you pointed at the guy to the right, but he was Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
But he was delayed coming, and his posture was like this. So you tried to take Louvu off the back, didn't you?
So Louvu, it was going to the tight end, I believe, on that one.
Yeah.
We had some miscommunication there by the look. But, yeah, Louvu was jumping the snap count, so I was more just trying to take that immediate because the tight end or the running back is fitting it from the backfield, right? So anytime a guy is jumping the snap count, for the back's got to get from the gun down there to block.
Yeah.
It takes some time. So really just trying to take the edge off there. Ended up being I didn't communicate great what the assignment was there. We had a pressure on that one. But, yeah, you just try and help out guys when you can.
What does Spags do that's so good. Like, that 4th and 5 for the Bills on the last play. I'm sitting there thinking, he's going to bring pressure. I was a little surprised that they were able to get 2 guys to come free like that. What is it about his pressure package that's so good?
Yeah, so I believe Spags and, they have a lot of good players on defense. A lot of guys played a lot of football, smart guys. And I think Spags does a great job of putting those guys in a good scheme, disguising the coverages, disguising pressures, and being able to confuse guys on offense in order to get guys free.
Let's talk about personnel-wise for the Chiefs. How much did you go against Chris 2 years ago and then last year in the regular season? How many one-on-ones against Chris Jones?
The year before that, too. 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had a fair amount. I know he'll bounce around to 3 technique on both sides, and on both sides.
I saw him beat the right tackle. I did the Texans game. I saw him beat the right tackle.
He kind of lines up a lot of different places. So I've had a fair amount of experience with him. I think he's a good player. He can be very influential and make a difference in games.
All right, so let's go back to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Does playing in that game help you in this game at all in any way?
I think any experience can help you. Obviously, from 2 years ago, we're a different team, and so are the Chiefs. Really having those experience in big-time games, I think is going to benefit anybody.
I mentioned earlier about you playing center in that game, but then Cam came in, and I play with a bad back, like I play with a herniated disc. I don't know what he's got or whatever. But what does that say about Cam that he wasn't starting, but they didn't put him down inactive? That's actually rare. And then when you went down, when you couldn't go in the second half, he came in.
Yeah, it just shows. Cam does everything that he can for the team, right? So, we got to that point where, I wasn't able to go, and, we were there to win the NFC Championship. So, he wanted to go in no matter what he was feeling like, no matter what he was going to feel like the next day or the next week, and try and win that game. And that just kind of shows who he is as a person in a nutshell.
So, you've been to the mountaintop in college football and won a national championship. You've lost the Super Bowl. Obviously, there's a big difference, but how do you compare those two feelings at the end of the season?
Winning's a hell of a lot better than losing.
Is there anything, you said any experience helps, anything in particular you're going to take from 2 years ago? Even just this stuff, even just like the week, do you think it helps you with just the week of all the media stuff and everything like that?
No offense.
No?
I could care less to be here.
No, having to go through it, it doesn't bother you at all either way?
No. I don't look into it too much.
Got it.
Right, this is just part of the job description, right? So.
Okay, so the Chiefs stopped the Bills quarterback sneak a couple times in that AFC Championship game. Did you guys notice anything that was interesting for you for when you guys do the brotherly shove?
We don't really look at how other teams run it. We just focus on how we run it. So, if we execute what we're supposed to do, usually we get the result we want.
Dude, always good talk with you. I love the way you play, and I like seeing you at country music concerts in the summer too. I was gonna ask if you got any plans, anyone's lined up yet, but dude, there's some good acts here this week. You're not gonna be able to see them. I think I'm going to Chris Stapleton Thursday night.
All right, have fun.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, this guy has taken the league by storm in the second half of the season, and in particular in the playoffs. Nolan Smith, do you lead the NFL in sacks in the postseason, I think? So you know that, dude. You know if you do or not.
I don't know none of that. I don't pay attention to none of that. I just try to work. I keep my head down and just stay working, man. I don't worry about none of that and none of the numbers.
So what do you feel like has changed, if anything, for you over the course of this year?
I feel like one thing changed is just, it's my opportunity. We had some guys injured and, go down, and I was able to play more plays, and that's what I wanted to do. And it was just it was my time.
Yeah, well, listen, I can't remember what game it was, it might have been the Commanders or the Rams, but they tried to run away from you. It was Commanders, Jaden Daniels, right? And I tweeted, I was on sideline for the game, but I said, you're not running away from number 3. There's no quarterback, certainly not Mahomes, you have to feel good about your ability to chase down any quarterback.
Yeah, I do feel good about that ability. I also think just because, I run a lot during the off season, I do a lot of different things, and just prepare me for this moment that, always chase down quarterbacks.
All right, maybe my favorite play of yours this season, okay? I was in the booth for the Packers game. Elton Jenkins, the left guard, came pulling on a counter. And, dude, I don't know what play. It was the first play of the game. You set the tone. You lit him up. How much do you weigh?
I'm about 240 now.
Okay, what's the mentality, though, when you got the pulling guard coming at you like that?
I just say, man, it's a different mentality. And you just gotta, you gotta have that mindset. It's either you or him. And I always say they always think I'm the lighter guy, so they sleeping and think it's not gonna be me.
You told me in the preseason last year, you wanted to play in the preseason. You like going out there and just hitting the crap out of people.
Yeah, I like playing in the preseason just because, man, it's just football. I don't know why people make a big deal about football. And the more football you play, the slower the game gets and the better you are. So I don't care if, ones or twos are going out there or threes, but the more you see it, the better you'll understand it.
Hey, that play I talked about where you killed the left guard for the Packers, I think it might have been the tight end that was wrapping around, but N'Kobe killed him too. It was both of you guys lighting them both up. Had you guys talked about trying to set the tone physically like that?
Man, that's always the one thing. We say that playing the run game is nothing but mindset and attitude, and those are the two things. You got to have mindset or attitude. So I just tell anybody, man, we don't look at none of that stuff when we playing and when it's happening in the moment. We just always talk about it, though, like when we watch film or we watch plays, or like when you watch Ray Lewis play, I say, Kobe, we could do that. It's just being a tone setter.
How hard is this for you to play without having the chance to have N'Kobe out there? How tough is it that you don't have your Georgia engineering brother out there with you?
Man, it hurts a lot. But I know he's cheering for us in spirit, and he wants us to keep going.
Do you remember what it was like watching the Super Bowl 2 years ago?
Watching him in the Super Bowl, yes, I do remember what it's like, but, it's different for everybody. And I'm so happy to be here in this moment right now that I can't even remember any of the Super Bowls I ever watched now that I think about it.
But you've been dreaming your whole life for this, right? I mean, this is what you've been waiting for your whole life?
Yeah, anybody wants to play in this big game, and they wait their whole life for this. And I just think it's crazy, and it's just so fun.
What's the key when you're going after Mahomes?
Man, just stay on your feet. He's real elusive. He's not, breakingly fast, but he's elusive. He's quick enough to get away from you, to extend the play, to throw the ball. And he has an amazing arm talent, and he's a great quarterback. My best top two quarterbacks in the league is obviously mine and then him. So,
Do you have a good feel for the two tackles, Tooney and Jawan Taylor? Do you feel pretty good about your plan going into the game?
I'd say they're great tackles, man. They're pros. They've been here before. And, this is my first opportunity. So, I'm going to just go out there and prove it with my pass. But those guys are really good.
All right, man. Hey, good luck. Thank you so much. Have some fun.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I am here with one of my favorite players on the Eagles, although I did say this about Landon Dickerson too, but I'm going to say it about you in different ways. By the way, both on and off the field, this guy is competitive in every aspect of life, let's say. So, special teams, man. Dude, it's a big factor. And by the way, I don't know what I said, I'm talking with Sidney Brown, safety special teamer for the Eagles. By the way, you had a couple more against the Commanders where you were lighting dudes up. I loved it. Last Super Bowl 2 years ago, the Chiefs had a big punt return, almost scored. Last game, Shipley, your guy, caused a fumble. There's a very good chance that special teams are going to be a difference in this game. Give me a breakdown first of the Chiefs special teams.
I mean, they've been a solid unit. I think the Chiefs every year take pride in their special teams.
Yeah.
You can see that by what they put on tape. They got a strong returner, obviously, and there's some core guys in the middle that are making great plays. But I think, for us, it's something that we take pride in.
What did you say, 4 guys in the middle?
I mean, there's 4 guys, between their twos and twos, I think.
On
They're pretty
kickoff
solid.
that are
On
making
kickoff,
plays.
they're pretty
Okay,
solid
yeah.
But I think, I think what special teams come down to is just the heart you have. You know what I mean? It's the want to go out there and
Right.
play. I think it's just like the grit to go out there. You know
You
what I mean?
love it.
Dude, I own my role. You know what I mean? I own my role for what it is. Dude, I'll do whatever it takes to help this team win. If that's on special teams, I'm going to do it every damn play.
Yeah, but you love it.
Oh, dude.
Certain guys are made for it, and other guys, it's just not their deal. Like you, I mean, there's a reason why you were the Red Star player or whatever the Eagles said you were. Like you genuinely love it.
Dude, I love football. I love football, and it's as simple as that.
They had a big return on against the Bills. Remigio, punt return in that
He's a
game
little
against the
baller. He's a
Bills.
little baller. Yeah.
I never heard of that guy until this year, but he's had some nice returns.
You know what the funny thing about that returner position is you got guys that come back that were, elite receivers like, 6 years ago, and now they're, elite punt returners, and it's just funny how they cycle. I feel like they're all over the place. Who's the guy? Who's like Crowder from the Commanders?
Yes.
I mean, where did he come? I mean, he played for the Commanders 4 years ago, and now he's back. I don't know where he was, but he comes back. He's a
Right.
I feel like that's just how that return position goes.
Let's talk about on defense and your role and where it's at right now. I know you're still battling back. Where do you feel like you are with this team at the safety position?
Yeah, I mean, I came back week 7. I don't make any excuses for what it is, but there's guys playing good ball. You know what I mean?
It's almost impossible.
Reed and CD are playing great, and I'm just there to support them in any way possible. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna have any animosity towards them.
Right.
I came here to make an impact. Obviously, start that's never gonna go away.
Right.
But it's not this year. I mean, I came back week 7, and I own my role for what it is right now, and that's on special teams. And when the opportunity does come around to go and take a shot at that safety position, I will do that.
And even if you were going to maybe get some time at nickel, Coops played so well.
Listen, we're playing elite all around on defense. Elite. like it doesn't get much better than what we're doing on defense. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's all about winning. It's all about winning games. And if we're winning games with those guys, what are you doing? I'm not. That's all that matters to me. That's all that should matter to anybody on this team. And there shouldn't be no animosity towards that. We're winning football games, and I can't sit here and be like, oh, put me in. No, I'm here to support them in any way possible, compete every single day, and own my role on special teams, man. And I love that.
All right, so you had a you were a rookie last year, right? So you know what that's like. How impressive, in particular, is it what Quinyon and Cooper DeJean have done this year?
I mean, those guys are they're great. They put the work in. I'm not surprised by the results that they're having on the field, and also Coach CP and Casper. I mean, they're doing a great job with them. Even between periods at practice, those two are working with CP, working on their footwork. Kind of going over little notes, little reminders. And you know what? They're a product of the work they put on a week-to-week basis, and I mean that's a product of really everybody on that defense right now. You know what I mean? Because everybody's playing pretty well.
What's crazy about it too to me is that I remember the first preseason game. We interviewed Quinyon. I was talking to Sirianni about him, and he was playing nickel, and he had never played nickel before. And Sirianni was just like, he's just a really good player. They could tell right away.
He's a stud. I mean, you saw him come into camp, and he's going right after AJ.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a rookie do that for a long time. So I thought that was pretty cool. He's competitive, and that's the edge that he uses. And he's probably one of the most chill guys I've ever seen off the field. The moment that kid puts his helmet on, oh my God! it's like me in a lot. It's like you don't even recognize who he is. He's out there to get your neck.
What about what makes Cooper so good?
Again, it's his mindset. It's the work that he puts in. Obviously, being physically talented, all of that plays a role, but he has
a good natural feel for it, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's a corner playing. He's a baller. He's just a baller, bottom set, and he's just a testament of the work. I come in the mornings and I see him in his chair, watching tape. He takes care of his body. He meets with the coaches, and yeah, man, he's a testament to the work that he puts in. And if you saw what he did on a day-to-day basis, you wouldn't be surprised.
Talk to me about, like in particular the last game where Zach Ertz had a really nice game against you guys. When it's a tight end, it seems like at times when it was man-to-man, it was one of the safeties. When it was zone, it was more the linebackers. Now you guys are playing against Travis Kelce. What is it about? Because Zach is not, the fleetest of foot at this point, and neither is really Kelce, yet they were effective. What are the keys in man-to-man coverage against tight ends like that at the safety position?
Yeah, I mean, eyes, leverage, keys. I think that's all plays a role, but every team's going to have their featured receivers. Every team, Ertz is that guy for the Commanders in the red zone. They love him on that. They love him on the sail concept. They love him on all that type of stuff. He's a guy that's going to get probably 5 to 10 targets a game, regardless of who they play, and how they manage the ball. You know what I mean? Playing a guy like Kelce that's very similar, that's very involved in the scheme. You just gotta be prepared for the unexpected. They do a good job of breaking off routes, and that's why I think they're special. It's because they break off in the zones. They break off in the zones really well, and they're able to find Holmes able to find that pocket really well. But I guess just playing like a guy like that, you just got to be key on your fundamentals. Sirianni preaches that. I know you've heard Sirianni. I know you heard Sirianni say fundamentals about 15 million times. So I think it just comes down to us being key on our fundamentals and going out there and just playing the defense that we played all year.
Do you remember what you were doing for the Super Bowl 2 years ago, Eagles-Chiefs?
Dude, I was training for the Combine. That's what I was doing. 2 years ago?
I know.
I was training for the Combine.
So who'd you watch the game with? Were you rooting for anybody or no?
I was watching the game with my brother in our Airbnb apartment, thinking about training on the next day. That I had to get up on a Monday morning to go out to train. I'll be honest, dude. I didn't know where I was going. All I was trying to do was make some money in the Combine. That's it.
Hey man, have fun. I love your personality, but love the way you play. I hope you make a big play on Sunday, man. I'm going to be fired up.
Oh, my man. I appreciate you.
All right, Sidney Brown, thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm telling you guys, I didn't realize how old my doors really were until I got the new doors in. Not only do they look great, but the outside noise has been reduced, which is amazing. You guys know how I feel about the folks at West Shore Home because it's a local business in PA and because they're listeners of the show, which is awesome. West Shore Home is making home remodeling easier and more flexible than ever. You can do a new project and get 2 full years of no payments and no interest, plus save $3,000 on all shower and bath projects. They're also offering $200 off per window for window projects and 15% off all entry doors. Volume discounts are also available. Take advantage of the great savings. Plus, get 2 years of no payments and no interest. Check out westshorehome.com/Ross to save an extra $500 exclusive to my listeners. That's westshorehome.com/Ross. Well, we're finally here. Super Bowl 59. My friends at Smirnoff have been advertising on the show all season. You already know they're our official vodka partner of the NFL. You already know that I love how affordable it is. They're the world's #1 vodka. You don't have to break the bank. They call that being Smirnoff Extraordinary. This is the week the NFL legend and Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis is dropping those amazing hand-picked items for just $12.99. Head over to SmirnoffDrops.com to check out those upcoming drops and check out these Smirnoff Extraordinary items. Go quick, they won't last long. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please, pricing is at the sole discretion of the retailer and may vary by state. Please not share with anyone under legal drinking age. Smirnoff, we do game days. The only thing better than game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Foodball Pool. Brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Join the Tums foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing time. Visit DraftKings.com/Tums foodball now through February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/Tums foodball. Don't let heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. Be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
Tuck's Takes.
All right, Ross, the biggest bit of news is Myles Garrett. He requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns, but Cleveland doesn't seem like they're willing to move him.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, right? I understand why Myles would want to go somewhere else. He's been in Cleveland for a long time. They have not gotten to the point where he can play in a lot of big games. He has played in some playoff games. Heck, former teammate of mine, Takeo Spikes, I think he played 15 years, never played in a playoff game. So we'll see. This doesn't happen that often in the NFL. This feels a little bit more NBA-ish in terms of a guy coming out and requesting a trade. We'll have to see how that ultimately unfolds for Myles Garrett with the Cleveland Browns.
Chip Kelly, he's headed back to the NFL, leaving Ohio State to become the Las Vegas Raiders' new OC.
He is $6 million a year, which is a lot. Good news for Chip Kelly. That one's interesting to me. I do think Chip Kelly is a good offensive mind, but Ohio State was kind of loaded. They had 2 first-round pick receivers, 2 top 50 player running backs. The quarterback now people are saying is a day 2 guy. That doesn't mean Chip Kelly's not a good coordinator. I guess I would just submit to you that I don't think necessarily what Ohio State accomplished this year is the best indicator of him being a good coordinator.
Tony Boselli, he's joining the Jags as their executive vice president of football operations.
Please say his last name again.
Boselli.
Tony
I'm
Boselli.
I got stage fright. I'm in media room in front of people. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect.
Boselli? Bah humbug. Tony Boselli. It's Tony Boselli. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's the best Jacksonville Jaguar ever. I need to learn more about what this job really is, EVP of football ops. But having known Tony for a long time, I'm absolutely thrilled for him to get a role as an executive in the Jaguars football operation, because I don't think he wanted to move anywhere else. I think he liked it there, so I'm very, very happy for him.
And Ben Johnson, he's getting a lot of money. 5 years, $65 million is his official contract.
He's getting $13 million a year, $12 million a year for Liam Cohen. The Ben Johnson one I can understand a lot more than I can the Liam Cohen one. Ben Johnson was a sought-after commodity for years and years, and is a proven commodity over years and years. That's not exactly the case with what we've seen from Liam Cohen, but good for those guys. I'm not the type of person that hates on people for getting money. I want as many people to get as much money as possible. Got to give a quick shout-out before the end of the show to my guys, Jason and Travis Kelsey. You know about their hit show, New Heights. I think I mentioned this last week. I heard last week that they had cake batter on their Mount Rushmore of ice cream flavors. If I see those guys this week, that is going to be a combination, or a conversation, I should say. Hopefully not a confrontation. What you should do, though, is listen and watch New Heights wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to skip the ads, catch new episodes early, and unlock access to exclusive episodes of the show, join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Those guys like drinking beer. I've seen it. I've had beers with them. I've seen Jason Kelsey drink Labatt Blue Lights at Bills games in that suite with his shirt off. He was crushing Labatt Blue Lights. I love crushing Labatt Blue Lights. Best light beer ever. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. Other than that, I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network on Samsung TV Plus, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout out myfrontpagestory.com. You know I love it. Backofficescheduler.com, humanheadnyc.com, Sporticulture, and Pizza Boy Brewing.